slowly entering this crazy month of June. Today's gonna be a long one and it's gonna be hot. I'm sure you guys are gonna see me sweating a lot, demonstrating all these movements. Make sure you have water with you. If you're outside in your yard, put sunscreen on, a hat or something. It's gonna be a warm day. If you've got breathing issues, make sure you have your inhaler. I've got mine on my shelves over here. So let's get ready to rock and roll. So first thing you want to do is warm up 2 to 5 minutes. Honestly, once you hit that 2-minute mark with how hot it is outside, you probably should be good to go. After you do that, we're going to go into 10 lunges, okay? 5 on each side. So just facing forward, we're making sure that foot's hitting the ground flat, and then when we push off, we're not pushing off with our toes, we're pushing off on our heels. After that, we're going to go into 5 inchworms. So you're just going to walk yourself out, do a push-up, walk yourself back in, okay? Finally, you're going to do 10 jumping jacks. So I want you to do those 3 movements 3 times each. So again, 10 lunges, 5 inchworms, 10 jumping jacks, okay? So you can tell I'm already kind of breathing heavy. It is humid in this garage. So after that, we're going into our boot camp workout. As you can see today, it's really long. If you only get through 2 sections of these movements, that's fine. I want to save the other 2 for tomorrow. Go ahead, that's a-okay. If you want to do the whole thing today, that's perfectly fine too. Again, I'm just letting you know it's going to be a hot one out there, so here we go. Starting off, easy stuff, 50 squats, so feet flat on the floor, toes slightly pointed out, weights flat, kind of even, a little bit more in your heels. When you're pushing up, driving through those heels, okay? So 50 of those. After that, we just did them 40 jumping jacks. So just going up and down. Then you're going into a 30-second plank. You either can have a high plank, so high plank hands are on the ground, back's nice and flat. I've got my shoulders stacked on top of my elbows, stacked on top of my wrists. If I want to, I can hold a 30-second low plank. Shoulders are over my elbows, okay? Easy peasy. After that, we're going into 20 curtsy lunges with a kick. So what you're going to do is be standing just like this. Make sure you have plenty of room behind you. I'm going to take a step forward. You're going to do that curtsy lunge back. So as you can see, my right leg is going past my left. It's a curtsy lunge. If you're uncomfortable doing that, perfectly fine. Go into just a reverse lunge where you just go straight back. You're going to come up. We're going to kick, okay? So just like that. We're going down. Look out and get my arms ready because I'm going to need them for balance when I go to kick. Okay? So just like that. Easy. Again. Last, we're finishing with 10 push-ups. So you're going to get on the ground in a high plank position. We've got shoulders above elbows, above wrists. We're going down to the floor, getting as low as we can. If you can't go all the way down, that's fine. Go to here. We want to eventually get to the point where we can touch our chest to the ground. Again, when I'm in that position, shoulders are over elbows, elbows are over wrists. As I'm descending towards the floor, my elbows are staying in nice and tight, and as I'm coming up, elbows are still in nice and tight. Okay, after that, you come to see this little blue line here. That's going to be kind of your time to either go grab water if you haven't yet. If you need to drink water in the middle of the workout, go ahead. Again, today's slow, controlled, long one. It's a good one, but it's long, and you got to remember it's hot out. So once you get back, after you take your 2-3 minutes, get your water, let your heart rate get back down, we're going right into 50 mountain climbers. So you're going to start off in a high plank position. We're driving our knee up towards our chest, and then we're driving it back again, and we're switching, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth, up to 50. After that, you're going to stand up. We're doing 40 high knees. So knees are coming up like there. You don't want them here. You want to try to get them up as high as you can. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So every time your foot touches the ground, that's going to be a high knee. After that, we're doing a 30-second reverse plank. I don't do these a ton in class, so if you've been in my boot camp class, you actually haven't seen one. I'm not the biggest fan, but they're good to do. Reverse plank is where you're going to be in this position. Usually, we're facing down. This time, you're facing up towards the ceiling. So feet down, you hold it just like this, okay? We're trying to keep everything nice and flat. Really good one for a posterior chain. After that, we're going back into 20 reverse lunges. So not a curtsy this time. It is a reverse. If you were doing reverse last time, perfectly fine. Just do reverse again. Okay? I don't know why I lunges. So again, going straight back. My feet aren't my foot is not in front of my knee. Everything's kind of out to my side, so I keep my balance. So that's 1, going back 2, 3, okay? You do not need to touch your knees to the floor, I just like to. If you want to just keep it up a little bit, that's perfectly fine. Go to where you're comfortable. Again, you shouldn't have knee pain. Foot should be flat on the floor. When you're coming back up, you're going to kind of push off with that toe, but everything should be in a good alignment. We're finishing this set off with 10 awesome burpees. So if you aren't sweating yet, this is where it's going to happen. So you're going down onto the ground, lying flat, then you're coming back up. If you need to modify, you're going to put your hands on the ground. You can take a step back, other step back. You're going to get down to where you're comfortable. I like to lie on the ground. You're going to come back up. You're going to take a step, step. As you can see, when I'm coming up, I'm preparing myself. So my back, for the most part, is flat. I'm using my legs, so my quads, my hamstrings, and my glutes. Stand back up. Don't want to get an injury. You shouldn't be coming like this and awkwardly pulling up. Okay? So after those 10 burpees are done, we get to our next little breaks, or our blue little line right there. Again, 2 to 5 minutes. Grab your water. Make sure your inhaler's close if you've got breathing issues. If you got a fan, I would turn it on. I have 2 fans in here, but if I turn them on, you can't hear me talking. So I'm just going to keep sweating as I'm doing this. Next thing we're going into, after your quick little break, 50 jump squats. So pretty easy. It's just like a squat, but this time you're going to be explosive and quick as you're coming up. So I'm going down. As I come up, I'm going to shoot my arms off. I'm going to come a couple inches up off the ground. When you land lightly. I shouldn't hear stomping through the floor. Everything needs to be light, okay? Be nice to your joints. If you're stomping on the floor, you're going to hurt your knees. Okay. After that, we're to 40 bicycles. So this is a pretty easy one. You're going to lie down on your back. Just like this, kind of in the dead bug position. Hands are going to go behind your head. Do not pull on it. Your hands are just there, just to be there. You don't need to try to rip your head off in this position. We're going opposite elbow to opposite knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 40, okay? After that, you're going to stay on the ground, and we're doing that 30-second side plank. So we're not breaking it up into 15 seconds on each side. You're going to do 30 seconds on one side, and then 30 on the other for a full minute, okay? So that's going to look like this. You're going to lie down casually on the ground. I sit here and sweat all over the place. So lie casually on the ground. You can see everything's kind of extended out. I like to put this hand on my wrist. Some people like to have it on the floor. Some people like to put it up like here. Your call. Do what's comfortable for you. You're going to come up, lift that butt up off the ground, holding that for 30 seconds, okay? Pretty hard stuff. So I only did that for like 2 seconds and I'm sweating a little bit. If you're uncomfortable having your legs straight out, perfectly fine. Bend them. Much easier to do it that way, okay? So, there you go, guys. That is your side plank. We still have more to do. So after we get that side plank done, we're going into 20 side lunges, so 10 on each side. So side lunge, instead of going forward, instead of going backwards, we're going left and right. So you're going to side lunge out. When you do this, again, your knee needs to be tracking with your toe. Foot still needs to be landing flat on the floor. It shouldn't be toe first. You could kind of go slightly heel first, but it shouldn't be anything aggressive. So flat on the floor, I'm going down to where I'm comfortable. I'm pushing off with my heel, coming back in, going out again. Okay? I like to keep, again, even this leg needs to be in line with your knee and your toe. This leg, knee and toe need to stay in line. As you can see, I'm bringing my toe up off the ground. You can leave it flat on the ground if you want to, but you shouldn't have your foot like this and your knee turned like that. Okay? Last but not least, we got 10 inchworms. Slow and controlled. What you're supposed to do with the inchworm, okay? Nothing crazy. Just walking yourself out. You're doing that awesome little push-up. Coming back in. Okay? And that finishes up the third round of exercises we have here. I've got one more to go. I will post all these in the little description under the YouTube video, so that little awesome description area. It's gonna be nice and long. But what we're doing next is our final little section. Again, before doing that, grab your 2 to 5 minutes of rest. If you need to grab a fan now, go ahead. I've only been at this for a couple minutes. I'm already sweating really bad. Probably should have worn some shorts, but here we are. So we're doing 50 pile squats. So this one, kind of a little bit like my class when we do sumo, deadlifts, high pulls. So feet are out, pointed kind of aggressively, okay? When you squat down, your feet are going right over your toes, okay? And then we're coming back up. I don't like to lock out my knees. I like to keep soft joints. It's gonna make them last a little bit longer. So we're going down, coming up. Pretty easy stuff compared to everything else we've done. So 50 of those. After that, we're doing 40 alternate jumping lunges. If you cannot do a jumping lunge, perfectly fine. Just do regular lunges, okay? If you're uncomfortable doing regular lunges at this point, you can easily do squats. That's a-okay. Do what you're comfortable moving your body with, okay? So, alternating jumping lunge. I'm gonna start in the lunge position. So right here. So I'm gonna jump up. My legs are gonna switch. Again, never have done these in class before, but we're stuck at home, so we gotta be mixing stuff up a little bit to keep us entertained and enjoying workout. So, alternating lunge, see where my arms are. My left leg's out, so my right arm's up. My right leg's extended back, so my left arm's back. We're gonna jump up. And if you notice, I landed lightly. Again, it doesn't sound like I'm trying to go through the floor. Okay, so right here, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Alternating jumping lunges. If you gotta do 10 and take a break, take a break. Those involve a lot of action, okay? So next thing we're gonna do, 30 clams, 30 on each side. So what I'm gonna say is, I don't think I have one. I do not. If you have one of those awesome little exercise bands, grab it. I can't, oh, nope, I found it now. I'm not gonna grab it though. So you're gonna take that band, put it around both feet. It's gonna come up over your knee joint. We never put the bands on our knee joints, okay? Everything is below or it's above, okay? So then you're gonna get this position, one leg over the other. We're not gonna pop up if like we're doing a side plank. You're gonna take the top leg, you're gonna push it back towards the wall, okay? So you're gonna do 30 on each side. It's not bad. If you're not used to doing these, I wouldn't suggest using the band. If you have done these with the band before, rock on, use them. It's a great way to make your booty look great, okay? So after that, we got single legs, good mornings, or single leg deadlifts. So I'm gonna tell you about these. Awesome, if you have really good balance and you're used to doing this, cool, do single legs. If you're not, do your regular good morning. If you wanna grab something, go ahead. If not, just cross your hands in front of your chest. We are pushing the hips back, knees are staying slightly bent. So we're going just like this. I feel stretching my hamstrings, so I'm gonna come up now, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Now if you wanna make it harder, that's where the single leg good morning comes into play. So what we're gonna do is, I have both my feet even under me. I'm gonna take this hand. I think most people say use the same hand. I'm not too picky, so most people again, knees stay bent, hips are being pushed back, other legs extending back. Do either or. So I'm gonna touch my right hand to my right, or sorry, yeah, no, that's my right hand to my right foot. What I usually like to do is do actually my left hand to my right foot. That's what I'm more comfortable doing. Okay. Usually when you're running, like you're gonna have right arm up when your left leg's up. So that's how I kind of look at it as it is, especially with working formally with college track and field athletes. Bodies, opposite sides of the body tend to have to work together. So I like to go crossing over, okay? So that's 1, 2, and then I'll switch, 3, 4. Again, pick your hand, doesn't matter which side you want to go down. Last but not least, we're doing bird dog. So you're in tabletop position on the ground. So as you can see, hips are stacked on top of my knees, and then my ankle joint is way back there. So you should not have your foot up towards your butt. This should be parallel with the ground. This should be crossing the ground, okay? So, hips on top of knees. After that, to be in the proper arm position, hand position, upper body position, I'm going to have my shoulders stacked on top of my elbows, stacked on top of my wrists. So with the bird dog, what we're doing is we're trying to take opposite arm to opposite knee, okay? So, as I sit here and sweat and make this horrible puddle under me, I'm going to take this arm and this leg. So right arm out, left leg out, I'm going to extend them out, and I'm going to bring them together underneath my belly button. So I'm going to try touching, okay? And then back out again. I'm going to do that 5 times on each side, okay? Trying to keep that back nice and flat. Now, if you cannot get your elbow and your knee to touch, that's perfectly fine. Just try to get them as close as possible. So to do the movement, I'm going to hit the board behind me. We're going to get close. If I'm not touching you, see, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to come back out, okay? If you want to, make them touch, that's perfectly fine too. Do what you're comfortable doing. It's weird times, got to make it work, okay? So what I am going to tell you is try to at least extend that arm all the way out. If you can't bring your arm in or your leg in at all, that's perfectly fine too. Just extend out and try to hold it for like 10 seconds, okay? So that's what I've got for you guys today. Long workout, the core is built in there, so you don't need to do the core workout afterwards. Afterwards, what you do need to do though is cool down. So walk around a little bit outside if the weather's nice. Grab a water bottle, drink that water bottle while you're walking around. After you get done doing about 2 to 5 minutes of that cool down, you're then going to stretch, because stretching is still very important even though we've got mass chaos going on in the world right now. So cool down, stretch, probably shower afterwards. After all that, you're going to possibly be gross. I hope you guys enjoy the workout. That's what I've got for you all today. Again, I will have it in the descriptions under the video, but look forward to seeing you all again, and have a good, wonderful, sweaty afternoon.